On February 8th, a powerful celestial event will unfold, marking a pivotal moment in astrology that will have profound effects on love, relationships, and personal values. The alignment of Venus, the planet of love and beauty, with Uranus, the planet of sudden change and rebellion, sets the stage for a dramatic transformation. This event is not simply a passing influence, but rather a defining moment in the cosmic cycle, one that will leave a lasting impact on how we experience relationships and redefine our values. It is a time for radical shifts and deep, irreversible changes. The Venus-Uranus square, the aspect in which these two planets form a 90-degree angle, is the focus of this momentous event. A square typically symbolizes tension, challenge, and conflict, but it also offers the opportunity for growth and transformation. The retrograde allowed us to reflect, reassess, and prepare for the revolutionary energy that Uranus brings. Now, as Uranus stations direct, this inward-facing energy transitions outward. No longer are we in a period of quiet introspection. The time for revolutionary change is upon us. The forward motion of Uranus symbolizes a push to manifest our realizations and breakthroughs into the physical realm. This means that the lessons learned during Uranus's retrograde period are now ready to be acted upon. For many, this may be a time of sudden external changes that reflect inner shifts in consciousness. This direct station in Taurus amplifies the focus on practical matters. Taurus governs stability, possessions, and self-worth, and Uranus's energy will disrupt these areas, pushing us to embrace freedom, innovation, and authenticity in our material and personal lives. As Uranus moves direct, it brings the revolutionary energy of liberation, forcing us to break free from outdated value systems, possessions that no longer serve us, and relationships that have become stagnant. The change is necessary, but often uncomfortable, and it marks a moment when we can no longer ignore the need for transformation in these key areas of our lives. As Mercury squares Uranus on February 5th, this alignment further primes the mind for the emotional upheaval that the Venus-Uranus square will bring. Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, is all about perception, processing information, and mental clarity. When Mercury squares Uranus, it signals a period of sudden realizations, shocking news, and unexpected insights. This aspect brings sudden bursts of mental clarity, but it can also lead to confusion or unsettling thoughts as new information disrupts existing belief systems or plans. Mercury square to Uranus often leads to groundbreaking ideas and revelations that have the potential to change our understanding of the world and ourselves. It's an intellectually liberating time where previously hidden truths come to light and the mental fog lifts. But these realizations can also be jarring, especially if they challenge long-held beliefs or force us to confront uncomfortable truths. This intellectual awakening prepares us for the emotional breakthrough that Venus's square to Uranus will trigger just a few days later. The mental clarity gained during Mercury's square to Uranus will now merge with emotional insights during the Venus-Uranus square. This aspect creates an intellectual foundation for processing the emotional turbulence to come. The downloads from Mercury's influence will begin to make sense on a deeper, more emotional level once Venus, the planet of love and relationships, squares Uranus, the planet of unexpected change. This alignment opens the door for breakthroughs in how we relate to others and ourselves, leading to a clearer understanding of what we truly need and desire in relationships. The period between February 5th and February 8th feels like the calm before the storm. As the Venus-Uranus square draws closer, the energy is palpable. There is a sense of electricity in the air, a building pressure that will soon release in the form of emotional intensity. This waiting period, though brief, is marked by a deep inner knowing that something big is on the horizon. While the mind is processing the mental breakthroughs of Mercury's influence, the heart begins to prepare for the emotional transformation that will unfold during the Venus-Uranus square. During this time, the energy is bubbling beneath the surface, and it's important to remain present and open to the shifts that are about to take place. Many may feel a sense of restlessness or heightened sensitivity during this period, as the tensions of the Venus-Uranus square begin to stir within. This is the energy of transformation at work, urging you to embrace what's coming next without resistance. It's a moment to trust that the changes happening are in alignment with your highest good, even if they initially feel uncomfortable or unsettling. With Venus in the process of squaring Uranus, the energy is now at a tipping point. The shifts in relationships, values, and self-worth that have been percolating throughout the first part of February are about to come to a head. This square brings tensions between our need for stability, Venus, and our desire for freedom and change, Uranus. It's a time when relationships may be tested, old patterns and attachments may be broken, and sudden changes in how we view love and affection could arise. The Venus-Uranus square asks us to consider whether we're staying in situations that no longer serve us, whether we're clinging to outdated beliefs about love, or whether we're ready to embrace something new, something unexpected. It can be a time of liberation as we free ourselves from the emotional constraints that have held us back from experiencing authentic connections and self-love. The alignment of the Venus-Uranus square promises lasting change, so the decisions made during this period will shape our emotional landscape for years to come. But this change doesn't happen easily. It requires the willingness to face uncomfortable truths and step outside of our comfort zones. This is the cosmic invitation to redefine love and relationships according to our true values and desires, rather than continuing to operate under the influence of past patterns or societal expectations. In conclusion, the build-up to the Venus-Uranus square is a period of intense preparation, intellectual awakening, and emotional readiness. As Uranus stations direct, the energy begins to shift outward, allowing the changes that have been percolating internally to manifest. Mercury's square to Uranus brings intellectual insights that lay the groundwork for the emotional breakthroughs to come. And as we approach the Venus-Uranus square, the energy continues to build, signaling the arrival of lasting transformation in love, relationships, and personal values. This is a time to trust the process, to lean into the changes, and to open yourself to the cosmic shifts that will unfold in the days ahead. The clash between Venus and Uranus is nothing short of a cosmic collision, one that will deeply affect the way we perceive love, relationships, values, and our personal attachments. Venus, representing love, attraction, beauty, and harmony, embodies our desires for connection and affection. Uranus, on the other hand, symbolizes freedom, innovation, and the urge for sudden change. When these two planets come into alignment in a square, the resulting energy is dynamic, often sparking dramatic shifts and challenges in relationships. This Venus-Uranus square is an energetic collision between the desire for stability and love and the need for independence, rebellion, and change. The tension created by this square will push relationships to the edge, urging them to either evolve and grow to a new level or break apart entirely. This clash doesn't allow for middle ground or comfortable compromises. It demands a decisive response, often forcing a change in dynamics. The relationships that survive this transit will need to redefine their foundation, while those that are no longer aligned will face the risk of separation. Under this cosmic influence, we will feel the need for more freedom in our relationships, a desire to break free from old patterns, and possibly a push to explore new connections or rediscover personal desires that may have been suppressed. This is not a transit that allows us to stay stagnant. Venus is asking us to question what we value, and whether those values still serve us in the context of a rapidly changing world, while Uranus challenges us to rethink the nature of our connections and how much freedom we're willing to allow within them. To make matters even more intense, this Venus-Uranus square is occurring alongside a Scorpio moon. Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, is the sign of transformation, deep emotions, and uncovering the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface. The moon in Scorpio intensifies everything, encouraging deep emotional truths to surface and pushing us to face what we may have tried to ignore or suppress. This placement adds an emotional, transformative layer to the already charged Venus-Uranus square. The Scorpio moon amplifies the emotional upheaval that comes with the Venus-Uranus clash, pushing us to confront our emotional shadows and face uncomfortable truths in relationships. This could lead to moments of emotional intensity where we realize, perhaps for the first time, what we truly want in our relationships and what is no longer serving us. Scorpio is also associated with power struggles, and during this transit, we may see intense shifts in the balance of power within our relationships, as we're forced to redefine boundaries and assert our personal desires more clearly. In the context of the Venus-Uranus square, the Scorpio moon will make it even harder to ignore the parts of our relationships that are not aligned with our authentic selves. We may uncover secrets or hidden emotions, both from ourselves and others, leading to deep revelations. The intensity of the energy between Venus and Uranus indicates that this will not be a temporary disruption, but a permanent transformation in the realms of relationships and self-worth. What emerges from this time is not just a superficial shift, but a deep, foundational change that will resonate through the months and years to come. As we approach February 8th, it's important to recognize that this is the final Venus-Uranus square before Uranus exits Taurus, completing its 7-year cycle in the fixed Earth sign. This marks the conclusion of a significant period of change, where the themes of stability versus freedom, security versus liberation, and the old versus the new have all been in constant tension. This is the final reckoning in that cycle, and the choices made now will shape the future in permanent ways. The decisions made, relationships formed or dissolved, and values realigned during this period will echo through the coming years. This is a time when old wounds can resurface, but it's also a time for healing. The Scorpio moon encourages emotional cleansing and transformation, helping to clear out the debris of past emotional baggage so that we can make way for healthier, more authentic connections going forward. The emotional cleansing and transformation brought about by the Scorpio moon are essential to navigating the Venus-Uranus square. Scorpio is a sign of rebirth and renewal, and under this energy, we are given the chance to let go of outdated emotional patterns that no longer serve us. The clash between Venus and Uranus may bring disruptive, unexpected changes, but the Scorpio moon provides the necessary emotional depth and insight to process these shifts. When we confront the uncomfortable truths and buried emotions, we free ourselves from the weight of the past. This could mean letting go of relationships that no longer align with who we are, or recognizing toxic patterns we've been carrying for too long. The Scorpio moon's energy is intense, but it is also liberating. By allowing ourselves to face these emotional challenges head-on, we make room for growth and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our desires. While these revelations may be difficult, they are necessary for our emotional healing and liberation. The truth may come in waves, often unexpectedly, but it brings with it a sense of clarity that cannot be ignored. We may find that our desires and needs have changed, and we must honor these shifts. With the Venus-Uranus square, this is the universe's way of encouraging us to let go of limiting beliefs and embrace new ways of being in relationship with others, with ourselves, and with the world around us. As the emotional intensity subsides, we will feel lighter and more aligned with our authentic selves. This period of transformation and emotional cleansing is not meant to break us down, but to rebuild us stronger, more resilient, and more attuned to our deepest desires. The insights gained during this time will serve as a foundation for creating healthier, more fulfilling relationships and a deeper connection to our own hearts. The Venus-Uranus square, combined with the influence of the Scorpio moon, provides the perfect catalyst for transformation. It is a time for deep emotional clearing, personal growth, and healing. The cosmic energy of these transits challenges us to confront our truths, release what no longer serves us, and make space for new, more authentic connections. This is a time of awakening to our deepest needs and desires, both in love and in life. The work done during this period of emotional cleansing will shape our future, allowing us to create relationships that are based on freedom, honesty, and true emotional connection. As the chaos of the Venus-Uranus square fades, we'll emerge with a clearer understanding of ourselves and our relationships, ready to embrace the next chapter with a renewed sense of authenticity and purpose. In conclusion, the Venus-Uranus square, intensified by the Scorpio moon, brings an emotional earthquake that forces us to face our truths and make the necessary shifts in our relationships. It's a time for cleansing, healing, and transformation. Though the process may be uncomfortable, it is ultimately a necessary part of our spiritual growth and personal evolution. Through this process, we are guided toward a more authentic and empowered way of being, both in love and in life. The impact of Uranus on Taurus is nothing short of transformative. Uranus's transit through Taurus began several years ago and has been a defining period for the bull, ushering in a 7-year phase of personal reconstruction. For many Taurians, this time has been filled with sudden, unexpected changes. Challenges that have forced them to let go of old patterns, beliefs, and structures that no longer serve their highest good. Now, as the Venus-Uranus square amplifies these energies, the changes become even more profound. This transit brings shocking news that will rock the foundation of Taurus's identity. It could involve significant shifts in career paths, relationships, or even public reputation. It's a time when old relationships or partnerships might disintegrate, while new opportunities present themselves with an urgency that cannot be ignored. This news, while challenging, is ultimately a gateway for Taurus to rebuild a stronger, more authentic version of themselves, one that aligns with their true purpose rather than the roles they've been playing. In astrological symbolism, Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty. However, Uranus, the planet of sudden change and liberation, now creates tension with Venus's more stable and predictable energies. This clash forces Taurus to reconsider their values, their relationships with others, and their self-worth. It's an opportunity for rebirth, a renaissance after the destruction of old, outdated patterns that kept them confined. The Sabian symbol for Taurus offers insight into what's coming next. It speaks of new love, fresh starts, and the chance to redefine their personal narrative. Just as the phoenix rises from the ashes, Taurus has the potential for renewal, but only after the old version of themselves is burned away. This transit is about breaking free from the constraints of the past and stepping into a version of themselves that is empowered, liberated, and ready to face new challenges. For Aquarius, the Venus-Uranus square will ignite significant shifts in their home life, foundation, and relationships. With Venus in Aquarius, a planet that represents attraction, love, and beauty, the energy around personal connections will be deeply affected. The square to Uranus will force Aquarius to confront choices that will shape their future, particularly regarding their autonomy and the stability of their relationships. Aquarius is all about freedom and independence, often willing to sacrifice the comforts of tradition to maintain their individuality. However, the square to Uranus brings the challenge of balancing autonomy with connection. Aquarius will be presented with opportunities that require them to make a choice. Either continue down a path that allows for freedom but may lack stability, or invest in a relationship or partnership that provides the stability and growth needed but may require some level of personal sacrifice. In this transit, Aquarius will find themselves at a crossroads. One path may be more comfortable, while the other may require a leap of faith. The Sabian symbol for Aquarius suggests that sacrifice is necessary for growth, particularly in relationships. This doesn't mean that Aquarius will have to abandon their individuality, but rather that they will need to strike a balance between their personal desires and the needs of others. The decisions they make during this period will be pivotal for their personal growth and future happiness. Ultimately, Aquarius will be asked to choose whether they will continue to resist connection for the sake of their freedom, or whether they will embrace a more stable foundation in order to build lasting relationships. For Scorpio, the Venus-Uranus square brings intense emotional revelations and an inevitable reckoning in their relationships. Scorpio's intense and intuitive nature makes them particularly susceptible to this transit's emotional upheaval, especially with the Moon in Scorpio opposing Uranus. The square with Venus adds to the emotional turmoil, as Scorpio will be forced to confront deep truths, both within themselves and in their partnerships. The news that Scorpio will receive is likely to be shocking. Truths that have been hidden or suppressed are now coming to the surface, leading to significant emotional shifts. This could involve uncovering betrayals, secrets, or realizations about the true nature of a relationship. For Scorpios, this is a time when the veil is lifted, and they will see the reality of a situation they might have been too emotionally invested in to see before. However, Scorpio's strength lies in their intuition and ability to navigate through intense emotional challenges. They will be guided by their innate sense of knowing, which will help them process and understand the truths being revealed. Whether it's about themselves, their partners, or their relationships, Scorpio will be tasked with integrating these revelations and making necessary adjustments in their lives. This transit is a turning point for Scorpio, where they must confront the hidden emotional layers within themselves. Whether the news comes from others or is self-revelatory, the truth is necessary for growth and transformation. The key for Scorpio is to stay grounded and trust their instincts as they navigate this emotional upheaval. They will find that their ability to confront uncomfortable truths and their resilience through emotional challenges will be key in helping them move forward. The Venus-Uranus square is a potent astrological event, marking a time of emotional revelations, transformative decisions, and profound shifts in the lives of Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. This final Venus-Uranus square is especially significant because of its role in concluding a 7-year cycle. Over the past 7 years, Uranus has been transiting Taurus, shaking up the way we approach stability, material security, and traditional values. This transit has inspired us to break free from outdated notions of comfort, beauty, and wealth, urging us to embrace a more authentic, innovative, and progressive approach to life. Venus, the planet that governs love, relationships, and our values, has been deeply affected by Uranus's transformative energy, creating a tension between the desire for stability and the need for freedom. With Uranus's exit from Taurus, this square serves as the final clash between these two powerful forces before Uranus moves into Gemini. The energy is intense, with Venus representing our most personal desires and Uranus challenging those desires with sudden, unexpected changes. Each of these signs is being called to face different aspects of themselves. Whether it's Taurus, redefining their self-worth and relationships. Aquarius, making pivotal decisions about their autonomy and stability. Or Scorpio, confronting emotional truths that have been hidden for too long. What makes this transit so significant is the urgency of the changes. The energy of Venus and Uranus, working in tension, pushes these signs toward evolution, growth, and transformation in ways that can't be avoided. For those impacted by this event, the key is to remain open to the lessons that these revelations will bring, and to trust that the shifts happening are meant to lead them closer to their highest potential. Though the news may be difficult at times, this moment serves as a catalyst for necessary change, and each sign will emerge stronger and more aligned with their true path. The shocking news that unfolds over this time may feel destabilizing, but it is ultimately the cosmic push needed to help them create better, more authentic relationships and embrace a new version of themselves that reflects their true desires and values. The Venus-Uranus square, occurring as Uranus completes its final moments in Taurus, is a pivotal astrological event. It represents the culmination of years of personal growth, shifting values, and redefining love and relationships. This transit brings forth a permanent transformation, the kind that fundamentally alters the way you approach your relationships, your self-worth, and your approach to life's challenges. The energy shifts are not fleeting. The decisions made now will have long-lasting consequences, shifting the trajectory of your personal evolution. Whether relationships break or break through, the transformation initiated by this square will remain, signifying a profound change in how you connect with others. The Uranus influence in Taurus has been slowly pushing for changes in the way we value ourselves and relate to the material world. When Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and relationships, squares Uranus, the planet of sudden, unexpected change, it forces us to look at relationships with fresh eyes. No longer can we remain passive or complacent in the face of what no longer serves us. We are asked to step into our power and embrace the changes that lead to a more authentic life, one where we are not afraid to release the things and people that hold us back from being true to our inner selves. It is a time of letting go and embracing new beginnings. As Uranus prepares to leave Taurus, this is the final call to let go of what has been limiting in our relationships and personal values. The next chapter awaits those who are willing to step into it with a renewed understanding of what they truly desire. This square marks a major energetic shift that creates the space for growth, healing, and ultimately, freedom. The eclipse on February 17th will serve as the cosmic punctuation to this period of change. Eclipses are powerful gateways, bringing closure to one chapter and opening the door to another. They align with the changes triggered by the Venus-Uranus square and lock in the transformation that is unfolding. This will set the tone for the next 6 to 18 months, bringing the possibility of major shifts in your relationships, career, and self-perception. The decision made on February 8th, the day of the Venus-Uranus square, will be significant. It is a moment when the energy aligns to offer clarity and insight, helping you to see the direction in which you need to go. It is an opportunity to solidify your choices, recognizing the power of those decisions and their long-term impact. This feeling may be subtle at first, an unease or dissatisfaction that arises without clear explanation. But it will grow stronger as the cosmic energy intensifies. Relationships that once felt secure or comfortable may begin to feel restrictive or stifling, and the desire for change may emerge suddenly, like a wave crashing against the shore. This restlessness is not an accident, but a direct result of the energetic shift taking place. Venus governs love, affection, and connection, while Uranus represents sudden change, innovation, and the breaking of boundaries. When these energies come into conflict, they create tension that urges us to reconsider the structures we've built in our relationships. It's as if the universe is asking, are you truly satisfied with the way things are? Or are you being called to evolve? This restlessness can manifest in various ways. For some, it may show up as a desire to break free from a relationship that feels too limiting or emotionally unfulfilling. For others, it may be the recognition that the foundation of their connection with someone needs to be reevaluated, and new, more open lines of communication need to be established. In either case, the Venus-Uranus square is prompting a reevaluation of love and connection. It's time to look at relationships with fresh eyes and recognize whether they align with our highest self. However, the restlessness is not only confined to romantic relationships. This energy will also influence our friendships, family dynamics, and professional connections. We may find ourselves questioning the value of certain relationships or seeking out new connections that align more closely with our values and desires. Ultimately, the restlessness and tension created by this square are meant to push us toward greater alignment with our true desires and a more authentic experience of love and connection. It's an invitation to break free from old patterns and embrace new possibility. The Venus-Uranus square on February 8th offers a rare opportunity for transformation and breakthrough. This is a time to let go of the past and embrace new ways of relating to ourselves and others. The cosmic energy that accompanies this alignment is a catalyst for change, a chance to break free from old limiting beliefs about love, partnership, and self-worth. The invitation here is clear. It's time to step into your true self. The universe is asking you to release the old and make space for the new. You are being given the opportunity to redefine what love means to you and to align with a vision of love that is authentic, free, and expansive. As this alignment intensifies, there will be no room for holding on to unhealthy patterns or staying stuck in relationships that no longer serve your growth. The tension created by the Venus-Uranus square will force you to confront what you truly desire in a partner, a relationship, and in your own life. What are your deepest needs? What are the patterns you've been repeating that no longer align with your highest good? This is the time to let go of the old ways of thinking and open yourself up to the possibilities that the universe is offering. In conclusion, the Venus-Uranus square on February 8th is not just another astrological event. It's a pivotal moment in the cosmic timeline, a time for transformation, growth, and divine alignment. As the universe pushes us to release the old and embrace the new, it's important to trust the process and take action. The restlessness you feel is a sign that it's time to move forward and step into the next chapter of your life, one that is more aligned with your true desires and purpose. As we approach the culmination of a potent astrological event on February 8th, the energies surrounding the Venus-Uranus square are rapidly intensifying. This aspect, signaling a pivotal shift in love, values, and relationships, is preceded by a series of significant celestial alignments that set the stage for profound transformation. Among these are Uranus stationing direct on February 3rd, followed by Mercury's influence on February 5th. These cosmic events are not isolated. They form a sequence that builds towards a powerful emotional and spiritual awakening, making this time a critical moment for personal evolution. When Uranus stations direct at 27 degrees Taurus on February 3rd, it marks the end of its retrograde motion and the beginning of a new, forward-moving phase. For several months, Uranus has been retrograde, asking us to review and reconsider various aspects of our lives, particularly related to values, relationships, and freedom. During its retrograde, we may have experienced internal struggles regarding change, the fear of breaking free from old patterns, and a deep dive into unresolved issues that needed attention.